Well, I'm going to talk a little bit today, and I hope that while I'm talking, that your memory will be jogged a little bit, and you'll think of something like I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about an accomplishment in my later years, and most of you all, well, those of you who know me know that I went back to college, and here's an article about it that I'm going to pass around, and you can look at it if you want to. It came out on May the 15th of 1993. That was the day I graduated from TCU, and I was 62 years old. When I got married as a teenager, I was in college, and I had to quit because I got pregnant, and in 2 years I had a husband and 2 kids. So going back to school was something that at age 18 and 20 when I had the 2 kids, I couldn't think about. It took me 40 years, but when I was 58, I made it. And I went to TCC for 2 years and got an associate's degree. And then I transferred to TCU and got a bachelor's in English with a minor in social work on May 15th, 1993. It was very difficult. I found this little thing here in, I'm going through stuff. I'm cleaning out my apartment and going through things and getting rid of things. And I found this little box that said that it had 50 ways of catching up with your past, or 50 ways of being happy. I can't remember, but it was 50 cards. And one of them says, "Where are you stuck?" Well, for years I was stuck, wanting to go back to school. And when I finally got there, it was the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And it's the first thing that I have ever, big thing that I ever completed. I always was a person to try things and do a lot of different things, but if I got bored or tired of it, I just quit and went on to something else. But college, I tried to quit. I wanted to quit. I got discouraged, but I just kept on keeping on, and I finally made it. And I just hope that some of you all can share some things with us about yourselves. I know this is pretty short, but that's, unless any of you have any questions for me, that's all I have to say.
Bravo.
Where were you living at the time that you started back to school?
Here in Fort Worth. I lived, the whole time I went to school, I lived in an apartment at Sycamore Hills Apartments on the corner of Hewlin and Sycamore School Road.
And were you still working?
Oh yes, I supported myself.
So you worked and you went to school?
I was an insurance agent. And then I found that being in insurance was so time-consuming that I couldn't study and sell insurance and do either one properly. So I started doing market research so I could just get an assignment and go do the job and then go home and study. But yeah, I lived in Fort Worth the whole time. My kids were grown and gone, and my only dependent was a kitty cat, and he was with me the whole time that I went to school.
How did your kids take this?
Well, my oldest daughter was real impressed. She'd never been to college, and she went back to college in her 40s and got her degree. And the other 2 just said, "Oh, well, Mom's just doing something different."
So you inspired her.
My oldest one, yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, she's 63 now, and she lives in South Carolina. So, any other questions?
Did you get a Excuse me, did you get a job in your profession then?
Well,
By that time, you didn't care anymore.
well, I did care, and I tried to get into, I wanted to, I am a freelance writer, and I've had a lot of things published in newspapers. I've been a stringer for several newspapers and written feature stories, and I was the entertainment editor for the Gazette, the Fort Worth Gazette, after it quit being the Stockyards Gazette and started being the Fort Worth Gazette, and then finally he went out of business. But I was the entertainment editor for them. And with that job, I got to go see all of the openings of everything, including Bass Hall. And so that was from my writing experience in school that I was able to get those jobs on the newspapers. But I never really got a full-time permanent job in publishing. So, but I still write some.
But you made money in your job
Oh, yeah.
and supported
Oh,
yourself.
yeah, I did.
Now, were you living in that area, in that apartment, when Joanne and I met you at Tai Chi?
No, wait a minute. When I met you all, I had moved. I had bought a condo in Indian Creek Condos,
Oh, okay.
and I lived over on that side
Yeah.
of town. So that was quite a few years ago, wasn't it? Yeah, I moved out here 10 years ago.
So
And
do you
it was-
plan to write about your life?
I've been trying to do that for about 8 or 9 years, and I have an outline. I have lots written, but it isn't organized, and I haven't tried to find someone to be interested in publishing it, and self-publishing is something I'm not really interested in doing. It's expensive.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, yeah. But I've been recently, I joined Network. Carla is my friend, and she's filming me. But anyway, Carla is in Network, and she was the president the year I joined. And what was I going to say about
Maybe about one of our members that has her own publishing. But
yeah.
maybe you don't know May Hoover.
May
that one.
Hoover, yes, I know her,
Mhm.
and she helps people get published, but I don't remember. I'm having a senior moment, y'all.
What is Network? It puts people.
It's an organization that was organized in 1978, and we meet at the Old South Pancake House. It was back in the day when women had no groups that they could really be a part of, like Kiwanis or Toastmasters or whatever. So it was formed, and it's just women supporting women. And we meet there for 1/2 hour. That's all. 30 minutes. Friday
7:30.
mornings at 7:30, and it's really early.
Yes.
Real early.
It's real early, but it's a good group of women. There's been some very influential women in that group.
Carla, are there any original women still with the group?
Yes,
Are there?
Sarah Walker and Margaret Estes are still a part of the group.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Just for them all to meet at 7:30 in the morning.
And our very first president, Jane Hardwick, she's a member too. She's still a member.
Really?
She was president the
Yeah.
first year. So, it's a good group.
It is. It's a great
women
group.
helping.
I don't go very often.
Yeah, just women supporting women. I mean, we don't really do anything like work, like raise money for anything. And the fee to join is $50 a year. And, it's whatever you want it to be, really. You can just show up and just listen to what women are doing.
It's a group of people who are very supportive of one another and not critical it's an unusual group because I've been in women's organizations before that weren't as open and as caring as this group of people. I've made so many great friends in the group. And, oh, I know what I was going to say. We get up each morning that we go and tell who we are and what we do. And I've had many different jobs, and they asked, one of the members asked me to be a different thing each week. And then one week I came out of retirement and started working on my book on my life again. And
But that was 1 week.
that was 1 week. And the next week I was somebody else.
But
is the
now that
average age of
you're
your members?
cleaning house
Oh.
and doing,
I would say, I don't know, 55, 60. Yeah.
The average age
Of the group.
women in the group.
We're getting some younger ones,
this is Ruth.
but I like the variety.
The
I like
richest.
all
That's
ages.
what I figured.
Yeah.
You had them across the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that usually I'm the oldest one there when I go.
You didn't hear what I said.
But there are some that are as old or older.
Yeah. I'm not sure we have anybody in their 30s in our group, but
What about Lisa?
yeah, she probably is.
Yeah, and Lisa is one of our members, Lisa Cesarati. She comes out here and teaches the bands, the stretchy bands, the women's exercise at 1 o'clock on Mondays in the gym. If you want to meet another member of network.
Yeah, if you
I'm
want,
going to sit down because
why don't you sit
I
down?
have
You did
a
great.
problem.
You did
I don't
wonderful.
stand up very well.